Hi, I'm Heather from Booktubes, and today is Booktube Pet Peeves. These are very personal to me, very subjective. I think it might explain some reasons why I do or don't do my videos a certain format or a certain length or whatever, but it's really just what I personally like viewing or don't like viewing, or the things that do stick out to my brain. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Again, this is it's literally just my opinion, and I could easily change my mind on top of that. But if you do these things and I watch you, that's fine. I'm watching you despite that. I'm not criticizing how you do your channel. They just annoy me. The first one is live shows where you don't acknowledge or interact with the chat. I have some very specific examples in mind. This isn't where the chat is going crazy and you can't keep up with things, or where the conversation is really in depth and you're really, focused on answering each other and you're really in the subject and you don't want to get out of that to get sidetracked by the chat. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about when you are just being boring and you only have a few people in the chat and you're not interacting with them in any way. Because the thing about it is, a live video, a live panel is not as polished or as cohesive as an edited video usually. Now, the big perks to that is, one, interacting with other people on the screen if it's a multi-person live, and also interacting with the chat, getting that feedback instantaneously, being able to address or go off of a comment that you get and yes, that's exactly it, or no, let me explain my take or why I disagree with you, right? So, and also the chat, you're talking to each other, and that's my favorite. My favorite chats are probably between 20 and 200 people. There's enough people for there to actually be a conversation, but there's not so many comments that you literally can't read it, can't watch it all. Those are my favorite. I love live shows. I love watching them. I love being in them. I am an enthusiast. Some of my absolute favorite experiences on Booktube have been just being in the chat, watching other people do a live, and it's so interesting, and talking to my fellow chatters, and you see, the names that you see all the time, and it's you have your own little group, even though you don't know these people at all. A lot of them, you don't even know their face, but you know their profile picture and their username, and you also know a lot of their thoughts from being in so many live chats with them. I love it. But when the people on screen just pretend the chat isn't there, it drives me nuts. And I don't know if this is just me being offended that you're not answering any of the things that people are trying to say to you, or if it's just not as much fun. But I do deeply dislike it. I feel it get on my nerves very quickly when I'm watching and they just are not talking to the chat. The next one is channels that are regurgitated recommendations from larger channels. I think part of this is I'm always looking for books that I haven't heard of before, or a reason to read a book that I have heard of, but you say a specific tagline or buzzword that I'm oh, I had no idea that was in the book. That absolutely grabs my attention. When all of the books that you read are just the popular booktube books, why should I watch you, who have made very few videos, maybe aren't very good at editing, maybe aren't the greatest at getting your thoughts across because you haven't had a lot of practice? Why should I watch you read the book when I can watch someone who's much more polished read the book and probably have? I have probably heard of all of these a bajillion times. I feel like this is a line, right? Because some of it is obviously part of being part of the community. You're going to get recommendations from Booktube, then you're going to read it, and then you're going to put it on your Booktube channel. And if you happen to love a very popular book, there's no reason that you can't talk about that book in every single one of your videos. It's your channel, and your love of that book has nothing to do with how popular it is or isn't. But for me, I see this so much, and again, it's just human nature, but I see this so much where it's every single one of your books is from these 3 booktubers or these 5 booktubers, and it's I watch them too. I know, one, you said you got the recommendation from them, which good, give credit, But then also, like, I have already seen their videos, so why should I watch yours where you're just also reading the same books? It gets on my nerves. Does it get on your nerves? Is this like a unpopular opinion? I want to know. Not listing books in your description. Now, I do absolutely want to avoid ableism here. Not everybody can list books in their description. Not everybody can remember things, not yada, yada, yada. There's like so many different reasons why maybe you don't do this. But if you just don't list the books in your description because you don't do that, that annoys me because I I'm often looking for the title or the author name, and a lot of times when we are pronouncing things, we might go for the phonetic spelling when we're searching, and that's not actually how the author's name is. I remember Lacey from Lacey Book Lovers, she recommended Tiffany Rice, and I was searching Rice, R-I-C-E. I wasn't getting anything because it's Rise, R-E-I-S-Z. So like if you have the books listed in your description along with the author, it's so easy for, oh, that one sounded interesting. I literally just go in your description and go and search it and find the book. I find this very helpful for me personally. That's why I always do it in my description. And again, not everybody can, not everybody needs to, but I personally do really appreciate when it's there. And it does just slightly annoy me when I'm like, what book is that? And I go to their description and there's nothing there. This can also, you know, be like they don't even have the cover on the screen and they also don't have the title of the author, and I'm just going off of what they said and I don't want to keep rewinding. And basically I want the convenience of being able to know exactly where that book is. This is another one where I do feel like it can lean into ableism, right? But posting 10 live shows at once. This can be very convenient for the creator, right? You create and post all of your live shows at one time. You don't have to think about it, worry about it, wonder if you did it or not. You've got it done. You batch did the task. Fantastic. And I kind of do blame YouTube for this. However, then they all show up in my subscription feed at the same time. And then when I am looking for the lives, it doesn't show. Beautifully Bookish Bethany did tell me that you can sort this on desktop, but not on your phone. And that is, it doesn't show you by order of when they're live. It just shows you the order of when the person posted it. So like your live for September is showing up before the one on tonight that I'm looking for, you know, and it's so annoying because it like won't let me search on my phone and I'm trying to find the live. What time is it? When am I going to be there? Because I'm excited to watch it and I can't find it. Because my live feed is like so congested. It just annoys me, and like I said, I really do blame this more on YouTube than on creators. This is why I never post my lives more than a day or two before my live is going scheduled, because I want you to be able to find it if you want to participate. But again, I can absolutely see the convenience, especially if you have trouble remembering things, to just get it all done at once. Next one is having to be in a person's fandom in order to be their friend. This is rampant, I feel like, in all creator culture, if that makes sense. But like, I shouldn't have to comment on all of your videos and react to all of your Instagram stories and like all of your TikToks and share all of your tweets. I shouldn't have to do any of these things for you to interact with me. Especially if we're in like a common space. I just feel like it's odd. And I feel like you see this a lot too with, like I said, friends. It's like, I will become your friend after you have shown how much you love me and my content. And I feel like some of that is natural. Like, why would I be friends with you if we don't know that each other exists? But I do feel like there are some people who just take this a little too far, and I find it bothersome. Especially when you have like really large creators who will respond to every single comment, and then you have like smaller creators who will only respond to their friends' comments. I don't know. It just bugs me. I know I try not to fall in this trap. I try to be interactive. If I'm viewing your content, I try to be interactive. But I don't know. It's just an interesting thing of internet culture where, you know, we can't just be friends. You have to be my fan first. Okay, this is for TBR videos or book hauls where you just read the synopsis for every book. Anticipated releases, book haul, TBR, anything where you're making a video about the books but you haven't read the books. So you sit and you read the synopsis. This is why I don't do this in my videos, because this truly annoys me. There are plenty of people that I watch that do this, you know, and that's fine. But I'm not watching your video for a slow reading of a book synopsis. Give me the buzzwords, give me the taglines, give me the reason why you picked it up. And if in the least little bit sounds good to me, I'll go look it up on Goodreads or Amazon. But like, I don't need a word for word synopsis from the back. I don't. If I wanted to do that, I would just go to a bookstore. That's not what I want. I want to know why you wanted to pick it up. And that I can only get from a person. The next one is for all of YouTube, all content. It's burps or like other gross body things where you're like talking about your sweat on your butt or just whatever it is. It just grosses me out. I hate it. I think part of it is that was just like completely taboo in my household growing up. So I feel like I might be a little bit sensitive to it, but nothing annoys me more than you having many loud burps in your video. Like, why did you not edit that out? I hate it, especially when it's like such a conscious choice to keep it in the video. Get rid of it. It's not cute. It's not funny. I don't find it entertaining. It weirds me out. It takes me out of the video. It immediately puts me on edge. I don't like it. Next, I have month late or longer wrap-ups. This is not true, but this is how I feel, and that is that they are irrelevant. I just never ever watch late wrap-ups. I don't. I literally never do, even though I probably would have been really interested in that content a month ago. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. I read backlist books all the time. You know, I will even watch like people's older videos sometimes. But why a wrap up has to be like that week's wrap up for me to be the least bit interested, I don't know. But my brain literally says this content doesn't matter anymore. We don't need to watch this, even though you posted it today. But you know, it's the end of June and you're posting your March wrap up. I don't care. Am I alone in this, or are you like, no, my brain's kind of like that too. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's wrong. I really do. I feel like it's completely irrational, but it is how I feel. Next one is constant collabs or collabs that are many of the same books. So like you are both doing a recommendation video and you are friends, you have similar reading taste, right? But like 3 out of your 5 books were the same. Again, I don't know why this annoys me. I really don't. I don't do very many collaborations. I usually do one if somebody asks. I am actually filming a video today that I did ask someone to collaborate on and they were like, no. That's not really true. It's partially true. But like, I really don't ask for collabs or anything. If I want to do something with you, it's usually going to be a live. I really like doing lives with people. I think lives with more than one person are really interesting and I really enjoy them. So that's what I usually will do. I don't do a lot of collaborations. I will credit people if I got the idea from them. I will tell my friends, hey, this video is doing really well. You might want to put this on your list. It seems to be a good recommendation, you know, that type of thing. But I really don't do many collaborations. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is I don't watch very many collaborations. There are some where, yes, I absolutely will. But there's a lot where I feel like I either need to just watch one of them or like I don't care at all. And I don't think this makes a lot of sense other than just like variety, not wanting to watch the same video from 5 different people at the same time. But like I do that for people's readathons announcements and stuff. I'll usually try and watch everybody's, but I don't know what it is where collaborations, I'm just like, I don't care about watching all the videos. Again, just like let me know, am I alone in this? I truly have no idea if this is a weird thing or if collaborations do really well or don't do really well. I do feel like sometimes collaborations outside of Booktube I find more interesting than within Booktube. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, next is long videos for no reason. If you have a wrap-up that is 30+ minutes long, and in your thumbnail or title it says that you read 8 books, I'm not watching. Why do you need 30 minutes to talk about 8 books? And listen, a lot of people do, and a lot of people love that content, and that is totally valid. But for me, I know I am not interested in hearing you talk for 6 or 10 minutes usually about one book. I'm just not. I really don't watch standalone reviews. I don't watch those like really in-depth breakdowns of the book. I don't care. Which again, that's literally just me, because that content is popular and that is what a lot of people really like. They like for you to do a deep dive and they can really get your thoughts behind it. For me, it's this is what I loved, this is what bothered me, this was my general impression of the book, and why you may or may not want to read it. And that's all I want to give. Like, I don't want to do more than that. I'm not trying to give you the whole plot. I'm not trying to give you the synopsis. Again, if you're interested in it, you either will want to go in with no synopsis, or you can look at it yourself and decide, oh, okay, I don't know how I feel about this. But I'm going to tell you the things that are not on the synopsis that really affected my enjoyment of the book, and why. Because that's what I want from another person. I want to know if there's a third act breakup. I want to know if the conflict was stupid, if the communication was really bad, if the characters were immature, you know, things like that. I want to know that reader to reader, and that's not in a synopsis. And I don't need any more than it's a fantasy about a prince and an assassin. I don't need more of the synopsis from you. I need your impression of the book. But yeah, I mean, if I'm doing the math in my head and it's like 7+ minutes per book, I'm not watching your video. I'm literally not clicking it. And you will know this if you ever do the math on my videos. It's usually like a minute or 2 per book. Definitely some books are more, but I don't spend a ton of time on it. Because again, I'm telling you why or why not. That's pretty much my reasoning. Lastly, complaining about views or engagement. Also, like on TikTok, the stop scrolling interact. Like, no, I am immediately scrolling onwards. Do not beg me for a view. I am not interested. Also, I get really annoyed when people are like, this video is not doing well, or hey, can you watch this video? It's not doing well. Like, if your audience was interested in that video, it would have done well when you posted it. Maybe that's not fair. Maybe that's just my reasoning, but that is my reasoning. And I want to watch a video not having any idea how well or poorly it's doing. If I'm interested, I click. If I'm not, I don't. And I just think that it's weird to complain to your audience about them not participating with you. Like, you're there to give them entertainment, and if they're not interested in that flavor of the day, then they're not. That's fine. That's feedback that you can take as a creator, but that shouldn't be then passed back to the audience like, hey, you're to blame. Why aren't my videos doing well? I just really, really dislike it a lot. I try to literally never do this. I try to never do this because I find it immediately irksome. As soon as I see a thing about it, I'm just like, ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it. And I'm all for creators making money and all of those things. Like, I want us all to do well, right? I just don't want you to complain that your video is doing poorly. Like, they're not all hits. They're not all hits, you know? That's just the nature of the beast. Why are we complaining? I don't know, but it annoys me. What annoys you? Let me know in the comments. Am I alone on these things? Are you like, no, you checked all my boxes? Did you agree on some and disagree on others? I would love to know. I would love to hear about it. And honestly, if you do this and I watch you, this does not affect my enjoyment of your video. I'm not commenting on your video saying I loved it when actually I went and complained about how terrible it was. So, you know, we We each have our own preferences, and I make and watch the videos that fit my preferences, and not every video is for me, and I can't watch everybody's video, plus I'm only one person, so nobody should be trying to just please me. Please yourself. Like, do what you like, and I'd love to know if your likes align with my likes. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.